Welcome to the Zix TV. I am the Zix, and we're going to have a look at this block tech set. Got a new block tech set here. Block tech. The box is kind of different. Getting a little stylish there. A little stylish with this part off to the side here. Space Heroes. This looks epic. We get all this stuff, and the minifigures are pre-assembled in this little area here. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. Galactic Assault. We got looks like a Star Wars Y-wing here. We got a remake of the four-legged walker from the Space Galaxy set. Looks to be a little bit different. The ship here. We got a Dippy one. Looks like a remake of the Dippy robot from the Space Galaxy set. Block tech, and I just love this stuff. I'm like, what crazy thing are they gonna do next? It's a bit different than it is with Bon Bao. With Bon Bao, it's like, oh wow, it's Bon Bao. What really cool thing are they gonna do next? With block tech, it's like, what crazy thing are they gonna do next? Picked this up recently. Includes two alien spaceships, one galactic cruiser, one droid defender, 5 figures and instructions. 605 pieces. And that's just the same picture that's on the front of the box. So let's check this puppy out. How do I open it? Got my scissors here. Well, this one's already come undone. This was just, I believe it was $13 on Amazon. And our minifigures are in there. What's this? All of our parts are wrapped up in this big bag here. There. Our block tech instructions. What we got here? Parts, little pieces. Like we get some decent pieces there. What is this? What is this? Are those little squares? An entire bag of little squares? Like puke? What is this? This is gonna suck. What is this? They still haven't learned their lesson, huh? Squares. What's this? More little squares? Or those clippy clips? Anyway, some decent sized pieces. What's this? Little bitty pieces. bars for clippy clips. And more little pieces. Looks like we got some hinges. And more little pieces. Some little bars and stuff. Well, I'm going to assemble this stuff. And we're going to have a look at it. I went through the instructions and counted. They give you a parts list for each of your models that you can build. And counted all of the little squares that we are given in this set, and I counted up to 118 little squares in this set out of 605 pieces. Let's get this crap fest going here. We got our minifigures here. I'll have a closer look at them. There is so much piece count padding. Well, the little squares, the bag full of little squares just says it all. There's so much piece count padding throughout all 5 of these. Well, maybe not this little one here, but the 4 bigger ones with little squares. You know what? Let's just have a look at the instructions. That'll say it all. Alright, got a close-up of the instructions here. Alien spaceship number 1. This little scooter here. Okay, that one does not have any little squares. How's the build on this? Seems okay, but it's one of those dippy little scooters. And then we got, what is this? Droid. There's 4 squares right there. Or that's the one that has, no, there's 2 squares. They also have a square that has a peg on the bottom, so you can build both ways. What is this? Is this our dippy robot? Yes, it is. Okay. We got oh, you start up here. Okay. We got 4 of those dippy little squares that build both ways. When you could have just used, you know, they make a 2x2 plate that builds both ways. So we got piece count padding. What's this? Alien spaceship number 2. Well, that doesn't have any little squares. Oh, yes, it does. 24 black ones and 22 white ones. Alright. We assemble the wing, put some stuff underneath. Put some random stuff up. Oh, there's our little squares. Oop. Forming what should be a 1x2 brick. And we got what is this? Well, it looks like it should just be plates, but we got Some of those black squares used there. And some little white squares. Some more little squares. Okay. What is this? 8 little squares used. You could have just... I'm not even going to say what you could have just done because it's obvious. I'm not going to say that anymore. All these little squares, these black little squares. And then you do it again. Alright, what have we got here? Okay. A bunch of little white squares. What is this? Put our windshield on there. Okay, and then we're done with this Starfighter here. And what's this? Droid Defender. With white squares. Doesn't have any black ones. Which one is this? What is this? Right, let's start at the beginning. Oh. What is this? 12 little circle things put underneath there. We got squares. 8 little squares. Lined up in a row. And lined up in the back. 6 little squares used there. Sandwiched between these plates, corner plates, more squares, levers. What is this? More squares? More squares. I've never seen so many squares. Squares forming a 1x4 plate. Wow, they actually give you a 2x1 plate. A couple of them. Wow. That's impressive that they actually did that. And then we assemble all the feet. What is this? Feet, and we have our Walker. Galactic Cruiser with 40 squares and 4 black ones. Have a look at this nonsense. Well, right at the beginning we got little squares. Oh, we actually get some decent plates. How about that? Decently sized plates there. That's actually weird. Why not have this be all squares as well? More squares. What's this? Decently sized plate, chair, steering wheel. Squares. More squares. Oh, we actually get some decently sized plates, 1x2s. But they're squares. Squares! All these little squares lined up in the back there. And you put all this stuff on top of it. Okay. More squares. I see more squares. More squares. I see more squares. Tiles. So that is a look at our instructions. How many squares did I say? 118 squares total is what I counted. What a crock of bull crap. But are the models any good? Well, let's have a look at our Y-Wing here. This seems to be like one of the main models in the set here. We've seen how many squares go into it, so I don't have to show you. There's our Y-Wing from Star Wars, kinda. This is Gold Leader going in. Pretty interesting design on the engine parts in the back here. You can actually switch it like that. That's right side up. Okay, that's with the it's got the clippy clips going out there. You could turn it like this. Like, it's just kind of odd. You could turn it like that. Turn it like that with the thing going along the top. But can we fit a minifigure inside? Well, let's grab a guy. The arms on these minifigures are loose. Is this? Oh, so are the legs. His visor came off. Get in there. It's not going to work because it's the new style of block tech minifigure with these weird legs, and they stick out too far. Maybe if I take a steering wheel out. Get in there. Get in there. What is your major malfunction? He just will not, he's not cooperating. There are pegs for him to sit on. He's get in there. I feel something coming apart. I'm gonna break it. Well, he's not gonna fit anyway. He's too tall. He's not going to fit anyway. This is... These block tech minifigures, the new style, they suck. The old style would work better. It's too tall. Might as well put his visor on. I'm gonna lose it. There. Alright, he's too tall. He won't fit in there. Not to mention it's built up a bit too far anyway. There's our Y-Wing. And then you got all these little circle things, like these little like Lego makes. These little circle things. They're trying to get fancy on us. And this curved part here in black. Let's have a look at our little whatever this thing is. And here we can see, well, his feet look to be flush with the chair. I can't get him back on. What happened? This came off. I can't. Did I do it? His feet look to be flush with the chair. Maybe I didn't do it right. Well, let's put this back on. Should have something underneath there holding that stuff in place. Raise up his engine. This little scooter here. Well, that's our little scooter. It's Dippy. Let's have a look at this Starfighter. Those are engines with these antennas sticking out in the back. How am I going to fit a guy in here? Let's grab an alien. What is this? Photoshopping them in there doesn't mean we'll be able to fit them in there. Photoshopping them in there doesn't mean we'll be able to fit them in there. Photoshopping them in there. Well, there is our, yeah. Here's this Starfighter. It doesn't even have any guns. They could use these antennas as guns, but they're pointing backward. And here is our remake of the classic Block Tech. It's not quite as the feet aren't quite as big, and it's got a different design to it. And these hinges are looser than the older ones, the older Block Tech hinges. These hinges are really loose. And don't tell me you'll be able to fit a guy in there. There's just no way. There is just no way he's gonna fit. Photoshopping him in there doesn't mean we'll be able to fit him in there. I bet you I know what they did. They just, why won't this stand? There. They took off his legs. How lame. And just put him like this. Now he'll fit. How lame is that? And these levers are the worst levers I have ever seen. They are very loose. In fact, this piece just came off. What is this? So much for that superior grabbing power of Galactic parts. These levers are terrible. No good. This is not an improvement over the original. These levers are terrible. Okay, put that down. There's our cannons on top. This is not an improvement over the original from the Space Galaxy set. Can't rotate. Well, you could rotate it, but it's just attached between the studs there. Oh, and this antenna was malformed here, the base of it. I got a malformed part, so that barely stays on there. It doesn't really. And this guy actually got an improvement over the previous one. He can hold his guns. There's his legs. He stands. There's our robot, built much like the one from the Space Galaxy set. Might have some differences to it. Can he stand like this, like in the picture? He can. Well, those are the things that we can build. This is actually better than the other ones. Let's see if we can. There he is. So those are the, we can only fit our guy into this little dippy scooter here. And his feet, I just don't think I did it right. Let's try this again. He's not fitting into his chair right. This part came off again. This set is just terrible. This is the worst block tech. They've gotten worse. Older block tech is better. The minifigs are better. This is terrible. Speaking of minifigures, let's just have a look at our minifigures and move on. Here's the guy who was in the scooter. And he's got these weird legs here. These are actually pretty loose. And there's the back with that weirdness. Okay. So that's how he sits down. I just don't get it. And his arms, this arm is loose. These were pre-assembled in the packaging. It's very loose. It's like those Zippo minifigures. Anyway, what is this? Is he a zombie? Zombie aliens attack. About the only good thing is the print on the body. And then we got this zombie alien. What is this? These are like those Zippo minifigures from those Zippo military war sets. His arms are really loose. His legs are loose too. Where's the other alien? Rawr! These are some ugly alien invaders here. How's this arm? It's not right. This one's a bit better. It just... How's his feet? They're loose. Rawr! And then our two daring space pilots. There's this guy. They messed up his helmet. His helmet is a rubbery piece that goes over his head. There's that guy. He just kind of... He came pre-assembled. I don't even get to assemble them myself. Am I doing it the right way? I can never figure out the right way to do these visors. It doesn't really fit on there very well. It's very loose. And then this guy. What is his deal? There's that guy. With a helmet made of rubber. And a visor that doesn't want to stay. Pretty good print. I just don't like the body design, or the leg design, or the arms design. How's he supposed to hold on to anything? That's not a clippy clip. Those are the minifigures. In addition, I had some extra parts. Not only do we get, how many squares did I say? 118. But they gave us extras. Extra squares. And here is this crap fest here. We got a remake of the classic four-legged vehicle from the Space Galaxy set. We got a remake of the robot that is actually an improvement over the previous one. We got whatever this is. Yeah. We got a dippy little block tech scooter and a Y-wing, and you can't fit your guy in there. And like the Space Galaxy set, also by Block Tech, all of the parts in this set fit into one bag, one Ziploc baggie, along with our minifigures, which were packaged separately. And this nonsense here. Except the Space Galaxy set filled up the whole bag. This nonsense doesn't even fill up the whole bag, because most of our 605 pieces are tiny little ones. This is worse than the Space Galaxy set. This set is terrible. Here's our instructions. Here's all this nonsense. This set is terrible. Block Tech, you are the new Best Lock. But even Best Lock back in the day did not give us an entire bag full of little squares. As I remember, Best Lock gave us some decently sized pieces. And I've been reviewing Orsini sets, and maybe I've been too hard on Orsini. Orsini gives us some decently sized parts too. They don't give us this crap fest nonsense. Maybe I've been too hard on Orsini. Maybe they're not that bad after all. Ugh. Add that to the list of things that can go wrong in Orsini sets. I've been keeping track in my creepy notebook here. You can get the wrong saddle for your horse. You can get the wrong headgear for your pirates. You can get the wrong color of part. Right part, wrong color. You can get bad model design where you can't fit your space pilot into his spaceship. Stickers that cover more than one piece, which is always annoying. And adding to the list a piece that doesn't work. This is an actual case where you need glue. You need glue here. It's not going to stay. You need glue here. Is this high quality and high performance? Ah! Ah! It's come back from the dead. It's mending itself. Ah! Ah! Get away from me, you foul beast! Ah! Did I get it? I think it's dead. Ah! Like puke up an alien's butt. I've been too hard on Orsini. I've been dishing out the justice that they rightfully deserve for their finely stewed crocks of bull crap. Finely stewed and simmered crocks of bull crap. But this set here takes the prize. Block Tech. The worst of the worst. This set is a finely stewed crock of bull crap like no other. I'd rather watch Waterworld 3 times back to back with no popcorn. I'd rather watch Battlefield Earth. I'd rather watch Dungeons and Dragons. This set is an abomination. It must be destroyed. fitting end for a finely stewed crock of bull crap. Block Tech, you are the worst of the worst. You are worse than Best Lock was during the 2000s. You take the prize, buddy. Right here. It pained me to not destroy this, but maybe some kids can make something nice with it. Thank you for watching.